Well, hello, dear viewers. This is Wolf, and welcome to Level Up Reviews. Ultima 8 Pagan. Let's jam! A wasted potential is the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about Ultima 8 Pagan. It's just one of those games that leave you wanting so much more than what you actually got. Do not get me wrong though, it's not like this game is a chore to play through or very boring. It has its moments and it has very interesting premise. Avatar is sent into the world destroyed by Guardian. 8 virtues mean nothing to these people. Well, virtues in general mean nothing to these people. Richard Garriott wanted to show you what would happen to the world if Guardian took over, and quite frankly, he raises stakes really well in here. Pagan is a terrible world. You certainly would not want to live in here. Execution, on the other hand, is horrible. And surprisingly enough, you cannot fully blame Electronic Arts for it. In fact, Electronic Arts gave the game pretty good budget. It even raised the number of the employees that Origin had. I mean, they gave them 6 programmers, 3 program support staff, 9 level designers, and many more people were added. I do not think it was too much to ask for this game to be finished in time, especially when they had largest development staff out of all the Ultimas. Although, to be fair, I should say, development was not going great. So EA was releasing a lot of people under Origin, and this was hindering them quite a lot. So they were not completely without fault in this situation. It looks like Origin was wasting its time developing useless stuff, which they could not possibly put half of this stuff on the floppy disks they had. Even though Richard Garriott reduced the size of the Pagan because he did not want to overwhelm the players. This is because Ultima 8 has advanced quite a lot from other Ultima games. It uses high-definition graphics VGA 256 color, and whole game is rendered 3D. Denis Loubet's characters look awesome in 3D, although he was struggling with this quite a lot. So combination of Electronic Arts rushing the release and Origin developing too much content made the game come out prematurely. Pagan was released in March of 1994. It was released on 8 floppy disks, and that does not include the speech pack, which was sold separately. Well, of course the game was riddled with bugs and a lot of other problems. For example, you could not kill every townsfolk because they did not include animations for character deaths. Even the map that came with Pagan is different than actual Pagan in the game. So much content was cut out. As Richard Garriott himself said, the game that we released had its guts ripped out. So they had to release a patch on the floppy disk. But there was no point to this actually. CD was released shortly after, which included a patch and the speech pack, although it did not include any of the extra stuff, which was cut out, so they still released a butchered game. I do not see why they just didn't wait to release the game on the CD. They could have included a lot more, and the game would not feel like it feels right now. Maybe the problem with Ultima 8 was that it had too big of a staff and a terrible organization. It's a shame too. Many have noted that game has somewhat of a similarity with Diablo. It could have been to the gaming industry what Diablo has become later. I guess we need to talk about positives too. The music is just amazingly beautiful. It is composed by Nenad Vugrinets. It fits perfectly with dark tones of Pagan. Andrew P. Morris and John Watson are designers, and themes of dread and hopelessness which Garriott wanted to convey are conveyed here perfectly well. even though colors are a bit boring. If you want to find out more about development of this game and many other Ultimas, I would recommend a book called Through the Moon Gates, Story of Richard Garriott, Origin Systems, and Ultima, Parts 1 and 2. It was not received well by reviewers. They leaned towards negative. Computer Gaming World even awarded it 20th place on list of worst games of all time. I mean, that is a new one for Ultima games. Usually, when they wind up in top 20s, it's top 20 best games. The battle system, if you can call it a battle system, is in real time. Richard Garriott wanted to test skills of player, not the skills of the character. Yeah, there is not much to test here when you can just run past through all the enemies in the game. Well, you kinda have to kill one or two of them, but One thing that I really like is the magic here. There are 4 different magic systems. Thaumaturgy, which is more traditional, using scrolls and spellbooks with reagents. Necromancy is real cool. You learn it from undead. You also need to use reagents here, which you can put in a bag, and use Key of the Caretaker, which creates spells. Synergy is one of the simplest out of all. You need to craft 8 items from silver ore, and then enchant them. Using them requires mana though. And finally, most complicated is sorcery. Basically you need symbols, wands, talismans to contain spells, and you use different candle arrangements and different reagents to create them. I love this system. It's really involved. You really need to pay attention. The story is, well, cut. But it is still okay, it's nothing too terrible. You start where the last game ended, with Guardians throwing you to Pagan.
You have been a thorn in my side for far too long, Avatar. Your 2 worlds will be crushed. Britannia first, then Earth. I shall parade you before their conquered peoples as the fallen idol of a pathetic ideal.
No gender selection here, which probably is cut out to save space. So you don't even change your portrait. A fisherman named Devon saves you, and tells you a bit about Pagan. He tells you to seek out Bentik the Scholar. On the way there, you will witness beheading. This is there to show you how brutal Pagan is. Stealing, betraying friends. Get used to these things because, well, quite frankly, you have to do all of these things to survive. People do not care about 8 virtues here, and you cannot afford to care about them either. You have a world to save. Basically, goal here is to absorb powers of 4 gods of Pagan. They are called Titans. There are 4 of them. Titan of Earth, Water, Fire, and Air. After you absorb their power, you will become Titan yourself, a Titan of Ether. This will allow you to leave Pagan and fight Guardian as an equal. It will require to master all of the magic arts. I guess there is nothing really that interesting here. It will be revealed that Devon the Fisherman is actual king here, and he will kill the local tyrant, Mordia. I guess you could say that Quest of Fire stands out a bit, because you need to summon Pyros, which is pretty cool. You have no choice but to betray one of the sorcerers though, which will result in gruesome death for one of them. And you also meet Arcadian in here, who is Demon from the Black Sword if you remember. You need to get magic items here, each representing element for Titan. And don't you feel terrible taking some of them, especially one of air.
Oh, dear child, you must not do this. I have given so much, and asked only for the devotion of my children. Now you will rob me of even that. Oh, thoughtless child. You break my heart with your actions.
I feel like a monster here. After which you will go to Ether. Here you go to 4 different levels and just click each item on 4 titans. Very disappointing. I mean, you would expect some sort of an epic fight, but honestly, the way the battle system is, I was kinda happy I didn't have to do that. Hence, you will become Titan of Ether. Pass through the gates to the new world, only to discover Guardian's head-shaped fortress. As I said at the start, this one is one big disappointment. Just so much potential absolutely wasted. I felt terrible that this game did not live up to its full potential. It sounds like development of this game was a disaster. I mean, I do not even know what to say about this game, when it's not even a full game, it's just part of the game. It's just a bunch of pieces put on the CD and shipped out as quick as possible to make a quick buck, I guess. I'm very disappointed. Well, I guess here we go, to the finish line. The last showdown with the Guardian. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to leave a comment. Thank you very much.